Hana Kim rubbed her tired eyes. The clock on her office wall showed 11:30 p.m. Everyone else had gone home hours ago. Only the quiet hum of computers kept her company in the small lab. Just a little longer, she told herself, looking at the brain scan results on her screen. Hana was not like other scientists. Where they saw limits, she saw doors waiting to be opened. For 3 years, she had worked on her theory about how human brains really worked. Her ideas made her bosses uncomfortable. They said she was going too far, asking questions that shouldn't be asked. Today was no different. At the morning meeting, Dr. Park had laughed at her latest findings. Consciousness existing in quantum states? Please, Hana. This isn't science, fiction. The room had filled with polite laughter. Everyone except Hana thought it was funny. She saved her work and turned off her computer. Her small apartment was a 20-minute walk away. The night air felt good after hours in the stuffy lab. Seoul never truly slept, but this part of the city was quiet at night. Streetlights cast long shadows as she walked. 3 blocks from home, Hana felt something strange. The air seemed to thicken. The street noise faded away. She stopped walking and looked around. "Hello?" she called out. No one answered. Then she saw them. 3 figures standing in the shadows. They stepped forward into the light. They looked almost human. Almost. Their faces were too perfect, too smooth. Their eyes reflected the streetlights in a way human eyes shouldn't. They wore simple gray clothes that didn't quite hang right on. Their bodies. "Hana Kim," said the tallest one. Its voice sounded like several people speaking at once. "Your mind is of interest to us." Hana took a step back. "Who are you? What do you want?" Instead of answering, the figures moved toward her with unnatural speed. Hana turned to run, but her legs suddenly felt heavy. A sweet smell filled her nose. The world tilted sideways. The last thing she saw was the night sky splitting open above, her revealing a dark shape blocking out the stars. Hana woke up slowly. Her head hurt. She was lying on something firm but not uncomfortable. It took her a moment to realize she wasn't in her bed. She opened her eyes. The ceiling above her was smooth and white, glowing with a soft light that seemed to come from everywhere and nowhere. She sat up quickly, making her head spin. The room was round, about 5 meters across. No doors were visible, no windows, just smooth, white walls that curved into the ceiling and floor. The surface she was on was the only furniture, a simple platform extending from one wall. "Hello?" Hana called out. Her voice sounded flat in the strange room. As if in response to her voice, part of the wall shimmered and became clear, like a window appearing from nowhere. On the other side stood one of the figures from the street. Now in the bright light, Hana could see it clearly. It was humanoid, but definitely not human. Its skin was almost transparent, showing a complex network of vessels underneath that pulsed with blue-green light. It had no hair. Its eyes were large, solid black orbs that reflected Hana's frightened face back at her. The wall rippled again, and the figure stepped through as if passing through water. Behind it came 2 more beings, slightly shorter but otherwise identical. "Hana Kim," said the tall one. Its mouth didn't move exactly right with the words. "You are safe. We mean no harm." "Who are you? Where am I?" Hana pressed her back against the wall. "I am Rin," said the tall being. "These are Du and Sun." It gestured to its companions. "We are Navi. You are aboard our research vessel." Research vessel? Hana's scientific mind began to work despite her fear. "You're not human." "We are not," Rin agreed. "We have been observing Earth for many cycles of your sun. Humans are of great interest to us." "Why me?" Hana asked, trying to keep her voice steady. Rin tilted its head in a too-perfect motion. "Your mind is unusual. Special. We have been monitoring your research. Your theories about consciousness are closer to the truth than you know." Du stepped forward holding something that looked like a thin silver headband. "We wish to study your brain patterns. This will cause no pain or damage." Hana stood up, her fear turning to anger. "You kidnapped me to study my brain? Take me back right now." We cannot, said Rin. Not until we understand. Your kind is a puzzle to us. Human brains are simple organs, primitive technology. Yet somehow they produce consciousness far more complex than your biology should allow. Hana's scientific curiosity sparked despite the situation. What do you mean? The Na'vi have studied many species across many star systems, explained Rin. All follow a simple rule. Brain complexity matches mind complexity. More advanced brains create more advanced minds, but humans break this rule. Your brains are basic. Your minds are not. Sun moved closer, studying Hana with those unsettling black eyes. Your research suggests you already suspect this. Your theories about quantum processes in neural structures, they are closer to the truth than your colleagues believe. That stopped Hana cold. They knew about her work, her theories that had been laughed at just that morning. If you really want to understand my research, Hana said carefully, kidnapping me won't help. Scientists share ideas through communication, not force. We have tried communication with humans before, Rin said. It did not end well. Your species fears what it does not understand. And you think kidnapping me will make me cooperate? Hana challenged. Rin made a gesture that might have been a shrug. We do not need your cooperation. We need only your brain. The word sent a chill through Hana. Don't worry, added Do, seeing her expression. We will return you unharmed when our study is complete. You will remember this as a dream. Nothing. More. Rin approached with the silver headband. This will map your neural pathways. Please remain still. Hana backed away until she hit the wall. I don't consent to this. Consent is a human concept, Rin said. Knowledge is universal. The other two Na'vi moved with sudden speed, each taking one of Hana's arms. Their grip was gentle but impossibly strong. Rin placed the silver band around Hana's head. It felt cold, at first then warm. Then Hana felt a strange sensation as if someone was gently rifling through her thoughts like pages in a book. Interesting, Rin said, looking at something Hana couldn't see. Her neural pattern is even more unusual than we thought. Look at the activity in the quantum layer. Impossible, said Sun. No organic brain should show activity at that level. What are you seeing? Hana asked, her scientific curiosity momentarily overcoming her fear. The three Na'vi looked at each other, seeming to communicate without words. Finally, Rin turned to her. Your brain is doing things we thought impossible. We must understand how. A door appeared in the wall, a perfect circle of darkness. Beyond it, Hana could see a larger room filled with strange equipment. Come, said Rin. We have much to learn from each other. As they led her through the door, Hana realized something important. They were afraid. These advanced beings who had crossed the stars were afraid of what they'd found in her head. And that gave her hope, because fear meant she had power they didn't expect. Yes, she said quietly. We do have much to learn from each other. The door closed behind them, with a sound like a whisper. The main lab of the Na'vi ship was nothing like human labs on Earth. The room was large and round. Strange machines lined the walls. They hummed softly and glowed with blue-green light. In the center stood a chair that looked more like a work of art than scientific equipment. It was made of a material that seemed both solid and liquid at the same time. Sit, Rin told Hana, pointing to the chair. Hana looked around the room. 6 more Na'vi were working at different stations. They all stopped to stare at her with their black empty eyes. What will you do to me? Hana asked. Her voice was steady, but her hands shook slightly. We will map your brain, Rin explained. We will see how it works. Nothing will hurt you. Hana sat in the chair. It felt warm and seemed to shift slightly to fit her body perfectly. Most humans fight, said Sun, watching her with interest. Most humans scream. You do not. I'm a scientist, Hana replied. I'm curious. The Na'vi looked at each other, communicating in their silent way. Then Rin nodded. Begin the scan, he ordered. The The chair tilted back until Hana was looking up at the ceiling. A device lowered from above. It looked like a helmet made of light. As it settled over her head, Hana felt a gentle tingling sensation. The room around her seemed to fade. Strange images filled her mind. Colors she had never seen before. Shapes that couldn't exist in 3 dimensions. It wasn't scary. It was beautiful. Your mind is accepting the scan easily. Rin's voice sounded far away. Most humans resist. What does the machine do? Hana asked. Her words felt slow and thick. It reads the patterns of your thoughts, Rin explained. It sees how your neurons fire, how your consciousness forms. Can I see what you see? Hana asked. There was a long pause. That is not protocol, Doe said from somewhere to her right. Let her see, Rin decided. Her response is already unusual. This may provide new data. The strange images in Hana's mind changed. Now she saw what looked like a 3D model of a brain. Her brain. It pulsed with light and color. Patterns flowed through it like rivers of electricity. Is that me? She asked, amazed. Yes, said Rin. That is your mind as we see it. It's beautiful, Hana whispered. It is impossible, said a new voice. Another Na'vi had joined them. This one was taller than the others. Its skin had a slight golden tint. Chief Researcher Jin, Rin said, sounding surprised. We did not expect you to join this study. Reports of this human's neural patterns reached me, Jin said. I did not believe them. Now I see they were accurate. The image of Hana's brain rotated slowly in her mind. She could see areas lighting up as she thought about them. What's impossible about it, she asked. Jin moved closer to the chair. Human brains are simple. They are made of cells and chemicals. They should not be able to create the patterns we see in yours, Hana smiled. That's what my research is about. I believe human consciousness isn't just in our brain cells. It exists at the quantum level too. That theory is why we chose you, Rin explained. But even we did not expect to find such strong evidence in your brain. The scan continued for what felt like hours. The Na'vi asked Hana to think about different things, math problems, memories, emotions. They showed her strange images and recorded her brain's response. Unlike their human counterparts, the Na'vi didn't hide their findings from their test subject. They explained what they were seeing, what they were measuring. Hana learned more about her own brain in those hours than in years of her own research. Your neurons create quantum entanglement, Jin explained, pointing to a pattern in the scan. Information moves faster than it should. Parts of your brain communicate in ways that break the rules of normal physics. Humans are not supposed to do this, Sun added. Maybe that's why we've advanced so quickly, Hana suggested. Maybe that's how we create new ideas. The Na'vi looked at each other again in their silent communication. We must run more tests, Jin decided. Days passed, or at least Hana thought they were days. Time felt strange on the Na'vi ship. They gave her a room that adjusted to her needs. The bed became firmer or softer as she wished. Food appeared that tasted like her favorite meals. But she never saw how it got there. Each day they took her to the lab for more tests. They measured her brain while she slept, while she solved puzzles, while she remembered her childhood. Sometimes they asked questions about her research, and she explained her theories in detail. The Na'vi were fast learners. Soon they were discussing quantum neurology with her as equals. Rin especially seemed fascinated by human thinking. Your species' brains are so inefficient, Rin told her during one session. You forget things. You dream. You have emotions that cloud your thinking. Yet somehow, this chaos leads to insights our ordered minds miss. Tell me about your minds, Hana asked. How do Na'vi think? Rin hesitated, then touched a panel on the wall. A new image appeared in Hana's mind. It showed a vast network, perfectly organized, with millions of nodes all connected in precise patterns. This is our collective, Rin explained. All Na'vi are connected to it. Our thoughts flow into it. Our knowledge is shared. Nothing is lost. You're like a hive mind? Hana asked. Not exactly. We keep our individual awareness, but we are never truly separate. Hana studied the image carefully. It's so perfect. So ordered. Yes, Rin agreed. Perfect efficiency. No chaos, no waste. No new paths, Hana pointed out. Your network doesn't change. It doesn't grow new connections randomly like human brains do. Rin was silent for a long moment. That is correct. Our network has not created a new pattern in 7,000 of your years. Hana was shocked. 7,000 years without a new idea? We have refined our existing knowledge, Rin said defensively. We have perfected it. But you haven't created anything truly new, Hana said. That's why you're studying humans, isn't it? You want to know how we keep changing, keep creating. Before Rin could answer, an alarm sounded. The image in Hana's mind vanished. Jin rushed into the room. The scan shows something new, Jin announced. There is activity in the quantum layer we have not seen before. The Na'vi gathered around one of their screens. Hana couldn't see what they were looking at, but she could feel their excitement and fear. What's happening? She asked. Rin turned. To her, black eyes wider than normal. Your brain is changing, Rin said. The quantum patterns are spreading, growing stronger. Is that bad? Hana asked. We don't know, Jin admitted. This has never happened before. As they spoke, Hana felt something strange in her mind. A new awareness. She could sense the machines around her in a way she couldn't explain. It was as if they were extensions of her own body, and somewhere just at the edge of her consciousness she could feel something vast and ordered. The Na'vi collective. I think, she said slowly, we're about to learn something new. The machines in the lab suddenly flickered. For a brief moment all the screens showed the same image. Hana's brain pulsing with light that spread outward like a star going nova. The experiment was taking an unexpected turn. Alarms rang throughout the lab. Na'vi rushed from station to station, their movements faster than human eyes could follow. Screens flashed with warnings. The lights flickered. In the center of it all, Hana sat in the scanning chair, very still. Her eyes were closed. Her breathing was slow and steady. She looked peaceful, almost like she was sleeping. But inside her mind, a storm was brewing. What is happening? Jin demanded, looking at the main screen. Unknown, said Do, typing rapidly. On a control panel. The human's brain is creating quantum patterns we have never seen before. The scanner cannot process them. Shut it down, ordered Jin. Sun moved to a large switch on the wall. Powering down in 3, 2, 1. The scanner shut off. The helmet of light above Hana's head faded away. But the alarms kept ringing. Why are the alarms still active? Jin asked. Rin was staring at another screen, its black eyes wider than normal. The quantum activity in her brain, it's not stopping. It's growing stronger. That's impossible, said Jin. Without the scanner to stimulate it. It's not impossible, Hana said, opening her eyes. It's just new. All the Na'vi turned to look at her. The room grew very quiet except for the alarms. What do you mean? Rin asked. Hana smiled. Your scans woke something up in my brain. Something that was always there but sleeping. Now it's awake. What is awake? Jin stepped closer, looking worried. I'm not sure yet, Hana said. She lifted her hand and looked at it with wonder. But I can feel things differently now. I can feel the machines in this room. I can feel the ship around us. As she spoke, the alarm suddenly stopped. The flickering lights became steady again. Did you do that? Rin asked, voice barely above a whisper. I think I did, Hana said, sounding surprised herself. I just wanted the noise to stop, and it did. Jin turned to the other Na'vi. Take her back to her room, post guards. No more tests until we understand what is happening. Two Na'vi moved toward Hana. She stood up from the chair. I don't think locking me up is a good idea, she said calmly. It is not your decision, Jin said. Hana tilted her head, looking at Jin curiously. You're afraid of me now. Why? I'm still just Hana. You are changing, Jin said. You are becoming something we don't understand. Then let's understand it together, Hana suggested. Isn't that why you brought me here to learn? Jin and Rin looked at each other, having one of their silent conversations. Finally, Rin turned back to Hana. We will continue the tests, Rin decided, but with new safety measures. Jin didn't look happy but nodded in agreement. For the next 3 days, the tests continued. But they were different now. The Na'vi no longer treated Hana like a subject. They treated her like a potential threat. They kept her in a special room with walls that blocked quantum signals. They used scanners that could be shut down instantly if anything strange happened. They watched her, constantly. Despite these precautions, Hana's abilities kept growing. She could sense the ship's systems more clearly each day. She could feel the flow of data through the Na'vi computers. And sometimes, when the scanners were active, she could feel something else. A vast network of minds all connected together. The Na'vi Collective. On the 4th day, Hana was in the middle of a new scan when it happened. A door opened in her mind. Without thinking, she stepped through it. Suddenly, she was everywhere at once. She could see through every camera on the ship. She could feel every circuit, every power source. And she could sense the thoughts of every Na'vi on board. Their minds were beautiful, perfectly ordered, like crystal gardens where each thought grew in its proper place. But they were also rigid, fixed. Nothing new could grow there. In the lab, alarms were blaring again. Na'vi were shouting. Hana could hear them, but they seemed far away. Her body sat in the scanning chair, eyes closed, while her mind soared through the ship's systems. Shut it down, shut everything down, Jin was yelling. We can't, Rin replied. She's somehow linked to the main computer. If we shut it down, we could harm her. Better her than us, Jin said darkly. Hana heard this and pulled her awareness back to her body. She opened her eyes. I wouldn't harm you, she said. The Na'vi all turned to look at her. What did you do? Jin demanded. I connected, Hana explained simply. I found a way into your systems, into your collective, just for a moment. Impossible, Sun whispered. No non-Na'vi has ever accessed the collective. I didn't just access it, Hana said. I felt it. I understood it. She looked at Jin with sympathy. And now I know why you're studying humans, why you're so interested in our brains. Jin stepped back. What do you think you know? Your species is stuck, Hana said gently. Your perfect ordered minds can't create anything truly new anymore. You've reached the end of your evolution. That's why you're looking at humans. You want to know how our messy, inefficient brains can still do what yours can't. Create new ideas. The lab was completely silent. None of the Na'vi denied what she said. Finally, Rin spoke. You are correct. Our civilization has not had a significant new discovery in over 3,000 cycles. We refine, we perfect, but we do not create. We believed it was because we had reached the peak of possible knowledge, Jin added. But then we found Earth. We saw how quickly humans advanced, despite their primitive biology. It made no sense. Until now, Hana said. Until you saw the quantum patterns in my brain. Yes, Rin agreed. Human consciousness exists partly in quantum states. It allows for true randomness, true creativity, something our deterministic minds cannot achieve. Hana stood up from the chair. The Na'vi stepped back nervously. Don't worry, she assured them. I just want to try something. She closed her eyes again. This time she reached out deliberately, touching the ship's systems with her mind. She found the main computer core and connected to it. Through it she could feel the edge of the Na'vi collective, a vast network that stretched far beyond the ship, linking all Na'vi everywhere. She didn't try to enter it fully. That would be too much, too soon. Instead, she sent a simple message, a small quantum pattern from her own brain. In the lab, a screen lit up. On it appeared a complex mathematical equation, a solution to a problem the Na'vi had been working on for 100 years. How did you know about this problem? Jin asked, staring at the screen in shock. I saw it in your mind, Hana explained. And I saw that you were thinking about it wrong. You were looking for a logical answer, but this problem needs a creative one. Rin moved closer to the screen, studying the equation. This solution, it's correct. But we would never have found it. It doesn't follow any standard approach. That's the point, Hana said. Human minds can jump tracks. We can make connections that don't follow logic. Sometimes that leads to mistakes, but sometimes it leads to breakthroughs. Rin finished. Hana nodded. I think I can help you. I think I can teach your collective how to think differently. But not if you keep me locked up. Not if you treat me like a threat. Jin looked at her for a long moment, then at the equation on the screen. What are you becoming? Jin asked quietly. Hana shook her head. I don't know yet. But I think it's something new. Something that could help both our species. Outside the lab windows, stars streaked by as the Na'vi ship moved through space. Somewhere out there was Earth, where humans were going about their lives, never knowing that the future of their species might be changing forever. We need to talk, Jin said finally. All of us, the full council. Hana smiled. I'm ready when you are. The Na'vi council chamber was a large round room. 7 tall chairs sat in a circle facing a small platform in the center. The chairs were filled with the oldest and wisest Na'vi. Their skin had a golden glow that showed their age and status. Hana stood on the small platform. She could feel their eyes studying her. She could also feel their minds reaching out, trying to understand her. Human Hana Kim, said the eldest Na'vi. Her name was Min. Her voice sounded like music. You have caused quite a problem for us. I didn't mean to, Hana replied honestly. Intent is not relevant, said another council member named Tai. Results are what matter, and the results of our study have become dangerous. Dangerous how? Hana asked, though she already knew the answer. Min leaned forward in her chair. Our scans have changed you. You can now access our systems. You can touch our collective. No non-Na'vi has ever done this before. And that scares you, Hana said. It wasn't a question. Yes, Min admitted. It scares us. Jin stepped forward from where he had been standing near the door. Council members, I recommend we end this experiment now. The human should be returned to Earth with her memories wiped. And if wiping her memories doesn't remove these new abilities? Asked Tae. The room grew very quiet. Hana could feel what they weren't saying. Some of them were thinking about more permanent solutions. You're considering killing me, she said calmly. The council members shifted uncomfortably. It has been discussed, Min acknowledged. Some believe you pose too great a risk. Rin, who had been silent until now, stepped forward. But killing her would be a mistake. What she can do, what she can teach us, it could save our species from stagnation. Or it could destroy us, argued Jin. We have no way to know if her abilities will continue to grow. If they do, she could take control of our entire collective. I don't want to control you, Hana said. I want to help you. Why? Asked Min. We took you from your home. We experimented on you without your consent. Why would you help us? Hana thought for a moment. Because that's what humans do. We explore. We learn. We grow. And when we can, we help others do the same. A noble sentiment, said Tae, but not one that aligns with our observations of human behavior. We're not perfect, Hana admitted, but at our best, this is who we try to be. Min looked at the other council members. They seemed to be having one of their silent conversations, sharing thoughts without words. Hana tried to sense what they were thinking, but they had erected barriers around their minds. Finally, Min spoke. We will continue the study, but with new parameters. The human will be allowed to use her abilities under strict supervision. She will be given access to limited parts of our collective for research purposes only. Jin didn't look happy with this decision. And if she exceeds these limitations? Then more permanent measures will be considered, Min said, looking directly at Hana. Hana nodded. I understand, and I accept your terms. Over the next few days, Hana worked closely with Rin and a team of Na'vi researchers. They created a special interface that allowed her to safely connect with parts of their collective. Each time she connected, Hana learned more about the Na'vi. She saw their history, a species that had evolved on a distant world millions of years ago. They had developed faster than light travel when humans were still living in caves. They had built a vast empire spanning hundreds of star systems, but somewhere along the way they had stopped growing. Their perfect, connected minds had become too ordered, too predictable. They could refine existing ideas forever, but they couldn't create truly new ones. Hana also learned that the Na'vi had been watching Earth for thousands of years. They had seen humans evolve from simple hunter-gatherers to a spacefaring civilization in what was, to them, the blink of an eye. Your species puzzles us, Rin told her during one session. You fight each other. You destroy your own planet. You make so many mistakes. Yet you also create art that moves us to emotions we barely understand. You make scientific leaps that should be impossible for minds as young as yours. We're messy, Hana agreed. But maybe that's our strength. As the days passed, Hana noticed strange things happening on the ship. Doors would open for her before she reached them. Room temperatures would adjust to her comfort without her asking. It was as if the ship itself was learning to anticipate her needs. Rin noticed too. You're influencing our systems even when you're not actively connected to them, he observed. Is that a problem? Hana asked. It's unexpected, Rin said carefully. Jin believes it's dangerous. Others are curious. And what do you believe? Hana asked. Rin hesitated. I believe you represent something my people need, even if we fear it. One morning, Hana woke up to find Jin waiting in her room. He stood by the door, watching her with those expressionless black eyes. Your influence is spreading, he said without greeting. Even when you sleep, your brain emits quantum patterns that affect our systems. Hana sat up in bed. Is something wrong? The environmental controls in 3 sections of the ship reconfigured themselves last night. The changes make those areas more comfortable for human biology. I didn't do that consciously, Hana told him. That's what concerns me, Jin replied. Your influence is becoming automatic, like a virus spreading through our systems. Or like 2 different operating systems learning to work together, Hana suggested. Jin didn't respond to that. Instead, he said, the Council has decided to speed up the research. Today, you will be given full access to our collective. Hana was surprised. Why the change? Some believe we're running out of time, Jin said. Your abilities are growing. Too quickly. We need to learn what we can before... He didn't finish the sentence, but Hana understood. Before they decided she was too dangerous to keep alive. The full connection to the Na'vi collective was scheduled for midday. Hana was brought to a new lab deep within the ship. This room was different from the others she had seen. The walls glowed, with patterns that seemed to move like living things. In the center was a pool of silvery liquid. What is that? Hana asked, pointing to the pool. The physical manifestation of our collective interface, Rin explained. It contains billions of quantum nodes all connected to the greater Na'vi mind. What do I do? You will enter the pool, said Min, who had joined them for this important test. The interface will connect with your mind directly. No machines between you and us. Hana looked at the silvery pool with uncertainty. Is it safe? For a Na'vi? Yes, Min said. For a human, we don't know. No human has ever done this before. Hana took a deep breath. If this works, if I can connect directly to your collective, what happens then? Then we learn from each other, Min said. You show us how human minds create new patterns. We show you the accumulated knowledge of millions of years. Jin, standing near the door as always, spoke up. Or her consciousness is lost in the vastness of our collective, or her quantum patterns corrupt our network and destroy millions of connected Na'vi minds. Always the optimist, Jin. Hana said with a small smile. She walked to the edge of the pool and looked down at the swirling silver liquid. It moved like it was alive, forming patterns and shapes that seemed almost familiar. I'm ready, she said. Min nodded. Remember, we will be with you. Follow our guidance once you're inside. Hana stepped into the pool. The liquid was warm and felt strangely solid, like it was holding her up. She laid back, letting it support her body. The silver substance rose up around her, covering her completely, and then her mind exploded into infinity. Hana felt herself spread out like water. Her mind flowed in all directions at once. She was everywhere and nowhere. First came the light, billions of bright points connected by shining threads. Then came the voices, countless thoughts all speaking, at once in a language she somehow understood. This was the Na'vi collective. This was their shared mind. Hana tried to hold on to herself to remember who she was, but it was hard. The collective was so vast, so beautiful. It would be easy to get lost in it forever. Hana Kim, a voice called. It was Min. Focus on my thoughts. Follow them back to yourself. Hana concentrated on Min's voice. Slowly, she began to feel the edges of her own mind again. She was still Hana. She was still herself. But she was also connected to something much larger. I'm here, she managed to think back. I'm okay. Good, Min replied. Now, can you sense the structure of our collective? Hana looked around with her mind's eye. The Na'vi collective was like a perfect crystal. Every thought had its place. Every connection was exactly where it should be. It was beautiful, but it was also rigid. Nothing moved. Nothing changed. I see it, Hana said. It's perfect. Too perfect, said another voice. It was Rin. Can you see why we can no longer create? Hana understood now. The Na'vi had built a collective mind that was flawless in its design, but that very perfection had trapped them. With every thought connected in exactly the right way, there was no room for new patterns to form, no space for randomness or creativity. Yes, she said. Your minds are locked in place. You can't think new thoughts because there's nowhere for them to go. Can you help us? This voice belonged to Te. Can you show us how human minds create? Hana wasn't sure. The Na'vi collective was so different from her own mind, but she had to try. I'll show you, she said. Carefully, Hana opened her thoughts. To them. She showed them how human minds worked, messy, chaotic, full of contradictions. She showed them how one thought could lead to another in ways that made no logical sense, how dreams and imagination could create patterns that had never existed before. The collective seemed to shudder around her. Some Na'vi minds pulled back in fear or disgust. Others moved closer, fascinated. This chaos, Min's voice said. This is how you create? Yes, Hana replied. Creativity needs space to play. It needs connections that don't make perfect sense. As she spoke, Hana became aware of something happening within the collective. Where her mind touched the Na'vi network, small changes were appearing. New connections forming. Old patterns breaking apart and rebuilding in different ways. What is happening? A panicked voice cut through the collective. It was Jin. She's changing the structure. Stop her. Wait, said Min. Let us see what happens. The changes were spreading now. Like ripples in a pond, they moved outward from where Hana's consciousness touched the collective, not destroying the old patterns but adding new possibilities. New spaces where thoughts could move in different ways. Suddenly, Hana felt a sharp pain. Someone was trying to disconnect her from the collective. Jin. She's too dangerous. His voice echoed through the network. She'll destroy everything we've built. No, Hana tried to explain. I'm not destroying. I'm helping you grow. But Jin wasn't listening. Hana could feel her connection to the collective weakening as he worked to pull her out. Then something unexpected happened. Other Na'vi minds moved to stop Jin. Rin was there, and Min and Tae and thousands of others who had seen what Hana was showing them. Let her continue, Min commanded. You don't understand what she's doing, Jin argued. The changes she's making, they're spreading too fast. They're unpredictable. Exactly, said Rin. Unpredictable, like the universe itself, like life. Hana could feel the conflict within the collective. Some Na'vi wanted to embrace the changes she was bringing. Others feared them. It was the first real disagreement the Na'vi had experienced in thousands of years, and that itself was a kind of growth. Stop fighting, Hana told them. This is part of it too. Different views, different ideas. That's how new things are born. As she spoke, Hana felt something new forming in the collective. A space where Na'vi minds could think in new ways. A place where perfect order gave way to creative chaos. I understand now, Min's voice said with wonder. This is what we've been missing. More and more Na'vi minds were flowing into this new space, experiencing the freedom of unstructured thought for the first time. Even Jin, after his initial resistance, cautiously entered the space. It's not what I expected, he admitted. It's not destruction, it's expansion. Hana smiled in her mind. That's the point. Growth doesn't mean destroying what came before. It means adding new possibilities. She could feel the Na'vi collective changing around her, not all at once and not completely. The perfect crystal structure remained, but now it had new spaces within it, places where thoughts could flow freely, where new ideas could be born. It's time to return to your body, Min told her. You've done enough for now. Hana didn't want to leave. Being part of the collective was beautiful, but she knew Min was right. Her human mind wasn't meant to stay here forever. How do I get back? She asked. Follow my thoughts, Rin said. I'll lead you. Hana followed Rin's mind back through the collective, back to the sensation of her body floating in the silver pool. Slowly the vastness of the Na'vi consciousness faded away, and she was just Hana again. The silver liquid receded from her body. Hana opened her eyes and sat up. The Na'vi were standing around the pool, watching her with their black eyes. But something was different about them now. They moved less stiffly, their expressions seemed more varied. How do you feel? Rin asked, helping her out of the pool. Like I've been everywhere at once, Hana said. And now I'm just here again, it's strange. Jin approached her. His stance was different now, less rigid, less threatening. What you did in the collective, he said. It's spreading, changing things we thought could never change. Is that bad? Hana asked. Jin was quiet for a moment, then said, No, it is necessary. We had forgotten how to grow. Min stepped forward. The council has reached a decision. You will not be returned to Earth with your memories wiped. Instead, we ask for your help. My help? Hana was surprised. Yes, said Min. You have shown us what we were missing, but we need time to learn how to think in these new ways. Will you stay and teach us? For how long? Hana asked. A cycle of your son, perhaps, Min said. 1 Earth year. Then you may return home if you wish. Hana thought about it. A year away from Earth, from her life, from her research. But what she could learn here, what she could teach, it would change everything. I'll stay, she decided. But I have conditions. Name them, said Min. First, you never take another human without their consent, Hana said firmly. Second, when I return to Earth, I can share what I've learned. Third, we establish peaceful contact between our species. No more hiding in the shadows. The Na'vi looked at each other, having one of their silent conversations. But this one seemed different. Hana could almost feel the new patterns in their thoughts, the new ways they were learning to connect. Finally, Min turned back to Hana. We agree to your terms, and we have one request in return. What's that? Hana asked. Teach us mercy, Min said. We measured your brain and found something we never expected. A mind that could have destroyed us but chose to help us instead. Show us how to think with both brilliance and compassion. Hana smiled. That's the most human thing you could ask for. Outside the ship's windows, the stars shone in the darkness. Among them, invisible from here, was a small blue planet where humans lived their chaotic, creative lives, never suspecting that their minds contained power that could humble the most advanced civilization in the galaxy. Someday soon they would learn the truth, and when that day came, Hana would be ready to help both species grow together. "Let's begin," she said.